I think we should have a break period in the day for everyone to kind of catch up with their studies.
I would definitely say a later starting time. I think 7:30 is way too early.
I'd probably say elevators for students because the stairs suck.
I think NASH needs a new building because the building right now is really old and falling apart.
One change I think would make NASH better is more parking. Right now it's like you get there at 7:15 and you have to park all the way in super ghetto.
One thing that I think would improve NASH for students would be if they learned how to park.
I think NATV students should have special privileges to help improve the content that we make.
I think we should have activity periods once a week and on the same day. So like every Wednesday's an activity period.
I think we should have Wellness Wednesdays again.
One thing I would change about NASH is I would tear the entire thing down and replace it with a Walmart.
One change that I believe that could make school much better for students would be assigning parking spots in the parking lots. Not only would this help with you guys coming to school and securing a spot, but this could also be for something that you can paint and enjoy arriving to school day to day.
I think we should paint the school, like each room could be a different color and we can paint the hallways, because I think if it wasn't all white and bland, everybody would be happier being here.
One change that I think would be good for students would be to incorporate some kind of an activity period where we do fun events like games, or an opportunity for groups of mental health where you can take time to either enjoy yourself through activities or learning about mental health.
So I think one of the improvements that can be made to NASH for the students is a student lounge, somewhere where they can go and sit, relax, actually drink coffee, have something relaxing, and they can just use it as a study space, something that replicates what's going to happen when they're in college or outside at a coffee shop.
I think we just need to be a little bit better at holding students accountable. You know, I always tell my seniors, enjoy this because it's the last place in life that you're going to get coddled. And I think sometimes because we want to be fair with students, but when we coddle them too much, we're really not helping prepare them for life after high school.
I would like to see NASH have more assemblies, whether that be interesting speakers or musical performances or anything to just break up the routine. I feel like it gets boring day after day, week after week, month after month, where every school day looks the same. So let's add some more variety to the calendar.
I think that we should have a later school start time. I personally think it's crazy that we're up and awake and doing calculus at 7:30 in the morning. So I think some extra sleep time would be really nice for our students.
I think something that would be great for students would be to have more meeting places within the school, working on group projects, things like that, dedicated spaces for them. I also think it would be wonderful to have more time during the school day just to be able to come in and browse the library.
I think one thing that would be great for the kids would be to have a writing center where children can come and get help on their own time, to have help with college essays and application essays. And on a more serious note, I think it would be a huge help to ban cell phones in schools to make kids become far more engaged on an interpersonal level and talk to one another.
The one change I think that would make school better for students is absolutely, in my mind, would be banning cell phones. Banning them altogether. Because I see a lot of students who are affected by that in such a way that it's a real addiction. And they're just living their life in that phone rather than through their own eyes and their own experiences.
One thing I would change about NASH is I'd probably add some kind of metal detector system. And although that seems impossible because it's a big school, most of the schools that I've been to have that system despite being a big school. So I think that it wouldn't be that bad to add some more security.
That could be changed about NASH would be the school lunch. It could be healthier and better. I had pizza today, it tastes like plastic, and I didn't like that.
What would change about the school is probably the fluorescent lighting because it causes a lot of headaches.
I think that a change that can be made at NASH to improve the student experience is more community events.
One change that would improve my experience is if we moved the start time back to 8:30 instead of 7:30.
I think NA should get rid of the swimming unit in the junior year. I think it just causes a lot of extra stress, or just it's kind of annoying for a lot of students.
I think NASH could benefit from regulating the temperatures within the classrooms.
That I think you could implement in the school is having hybrid weeks again, because I really enjoyed like being able to have like a couple days off, and like it sucked that I wouldn't be able to see all my friends, but I really enjoyed the different variety of each week.
One thing that I would change would be the vending machines. They low-key have some pretty bad options in there, so maybe make a Google form that people could make recommendations for, and then the popular stuff that people are buying, maybe restock it more often.
One thing I would change would be to do something about the cars parking in like non-parking spots in the parking lot.
Thing I would change is I'd push our start time back to like 8:30, because I know other school districts are doing it, and why can't we do that as well?
One thing I would change about NA is having mandatory monthly meetings with our guidance counselors.
One thing I would do to make NASH better is lower the prices of the parking passes. $100 is crazy.
One thing I would change about NA is making more ways for it to be easier to get out of school at the end of the day.
One thing we should change at NASH is make the class period shorter.
I think we should have like a weekly activity period, and it can help a lot of students get a lot of assignments done. They could just relax and they could just catch up with whatever they're like missing or like they need to learn or anything.
I think that kids should be able to just take their required classes and then be able to leave school and not have to take a bunch of study halls or extra classes that they don't want to take.
Definitely having not sugar-free soda options so that it's a better experience for the students.
I think seniors should get assigned parking spots so that they can decorate them.